Hey, I'm Colin, and just wanted to show off this little program I made called Chubby, which lets you work locally and edit remotely. Like say you wanted to use Vim or some other editor on your local machine, and when you edit those files to send them over to like a server or a remote machine where you want all of your code to be, or that's where you want to deploy your code, and like you're editing as you're testing, you want to send it over. So you don't want to like commit every single little fix you make. So what this does is Chubby is an SCP wrapper, and it copies your files and sends them over to the remote destination. So over here I have this little test setup where on the left is my local machine, on the right is a Raspberry Pi, which I'm SSH'd into. And on both computers we have these files, and they're all empty right now. I actually have this print script which shows the contents of all of them so we can see what's happening. So say I open up the README, right? And I want to type something like hello, I can write, and when I want to send it over, that's when I go here and I type Chubby, and it will send everything over. And now you can see on the left here, the hello has popped up. So I can continue editing. Say I want to edit the C++ file now, so I can write some stuff. And I also have this NeoVim keybind setup, space ch, and that's just in my NeoVim config, and it just executes the Chubby command. It's that simple, and that also sends everything over. And now you can see here we got it. So what's happening is when you execute Chubby, it looks for this .chubby file, and in here is like the SCP command that you're executing, kind of. So you could really just imagine that you wrote SCP at the start here, and that's what it executes. The reason to have Chubby is because it finds this file and then executes it, and it makes things a lot simpler. If you don't know what SCP is, it's the secure file copy program. And since Chubby is an SCP wrapper, you can put in any SCP argument here. And my dog wanted to go outside, but I'm back. And so you can put in any SCP argument. So this TAC-O, this TAC-P, those are all SCP arguments, even the file names, and that just gets passed there. Really, the only arguments that are unique to Chubby are TAC-N, which means don't use a file, and TAC-F, which means use a different file name. So you can do something like .achub, and then it didn't find that. So here, yeah, could not find a tube. But if you put in no file, like this, then what you would have to do is supply two destinations here. So you could even do something simple like readme into read you. I don't know. And SCP does work for two different local locations. It also works for two different SSH locations. I don't know why you want to do that though. It would also work to supply an SSH location as the source and then a local location as the destination. So you would, like if I wanted to, I could run Chubby on my Raspberry Pi and then take them from my local machine over to Raspberry Pi. But I personally think this method is simpler. And yeah, as you can see here, the readu popped up, and it's the same as readme. So in here now, I can walk through this. The TAC-O is an SCP option to enable the legacy SCP protocol. For some reason, like, the SCP on my Raspberry Pi is old or something. If I don't supply this, it'll just say, like, connection timed out or something. Port 23, default's 22. That's what SSH is on by default. And then the source and the destination. The destination, if you're using SSH, is like this, host, colon, and then location. So home for the tilde, and then /Chubby test. So expansion like that does work. SCP also supports the SCP protocol, so you could do something like this. And then the colon means the port. Then you do a slash, and then start supplying that. Slash like that. It is a little weird how the slash looks like you're starting to type in the root directory, but that's just another way you could type it out. It doesn't really make a difference. I guess like two other things really. Since normally you would have like a Git repository here, so I could even do like a Git init. And then if you go into Git status, you would see that, well, you would normally see that the .chubby would pop up here, and then you probably wouldn't want to commit that. So what I have is in my git config. This is also on a GitHub if you want to look at it, but on my git config under core, I have a global git ignore, and in here I did put .chubby files. So if you're planning on using this, I would recommend setting that up. Again, that's in like a git config, which this just maps to in the home directory /git config, and it's just a symlink. And then put under core excludes file that. There was one other thing, which is SSH keys. If you don't have an SSH key set up, you might have noticed that it didn't ask me to supply my password when I ran Chubby. Normally for each SCP operation, you would have to like put in the SSH password. So like if I SSH into anything else that, I don't know, I guess that doesn't have an SSH set up, so it's not even giving me an option. But it would prompt you for a password, and then you would have to type it in each time, and that would be annoying. So I just have an SSH key set up, which makes it so you don't have to put in a password. Anyways, yeah, so colon63/chubby, that's the Git repo. I'll put it in the description. Here's an installation script. If you want to check for malware, it's all just a bash script. You can read through this here. And that's about it. So thank you and goodbye.